Imagine this. Your soul sister, the one you called the second your heart got its first crack, the one who knew the sound of your cry over the phone before you even spoke, the one you let hold your childhood diary with pages still wet from tears, takes every shattered fragment of your pain, polishes it, packages it, puts her name on it, and stands on a stage while the entire world applauds her for surviving her story, while you're bleeding out in the back rows nobody sees. Hi, my beautiful broken warriors, I'm Ms. Serena, and for 5 long years I have been walking around with a knife buried so deep between my ribs that I learned how to smile around the pain. Tonight, I'm reaching back, wrapping my fingers around that cold handle, and I'm pulling it out inch by agonizing inch, and I'm going to show you every drop of blood, every scream I swallowed, every night I almost didn't make it to morning. If you've ever loved someone who used your open wounds as stepping stones, this is for you. Lock your door, silence every notification, wrap yourself in the softest blanket you own, because this story is going to split your heart wide open, and then stitch it back together with gold. Let's go all the way back, 15 years deep, to a night I can still smell: burnt ramen, cheap vanilla body spray, and fear. I was 18-year-old me stood in a dorm kitchen that hadn't been cleaned since the 90s, wearing my high school boyfriend's hoodie 2 sizes too big, trying not to cry because I was a 6-hour drive from home and my microwave dinner had just exploded like my life plans. That's when the door swung open and in walked Alina, messy top knot, red lipstick at 2:17 a.m., confidence radiating like she owned the entire campus already. She took one look at the crime scene on the counter, laughed, the warmest laugh I'd ever heard, grabbed a plastic fork, and said, "Move over, new girl, we're eating this disaster together." And just like that, I wasn't alone anymore. From that night forward we were a single heartbeat in 2 bodies. We finished each other's sentences before they even left our mouths. We stole each other's hoodies, lip gloss, secrets. We stayed up until sunrise making glitter-covered vision boards while listening to old Taylor Swift on repeat. We cried over the same worthless boys, drove 6 hours to the ocean at midnight just because we could, laid on the hood of her beat-up Honda staring at stars and promising each other the universe. She was the wildfire, and I was the quiet lake water. She burned bright and loud, I reflected quietly, and together we thought we made magic. We pinky swore over $5 wine that we would be each other's maids of honor, godmothers to each other's children, the emergency contact that never changed, the front row seat to every triumph and every breakdown. I believed those promises the way children believe in forever. After graduation, we refused to let distance win. We moved to the same city, rented a shoebox apartment with peeling paint and one tiny bathroom that became the stage for 1,000 fights and 10,000 makeups. When my first real love, the one I thought he was the one, cheated on me with my coworker at the office Christmas party, Alina found me curled on the bathroom floor, clutching the toilet like it was the only thing holding me together. She didn't say "I told you so," even though she had warned me. She just sat on the cold tile for 6 straight hours, letting me sob into her silk pillow until it was soaked through, stroking my hair, and repeating, "I've got you forever, Serena. No one will ever hurt you again, as long as I'm alive." I tattooed that sentence on the inside of my soul. I let her read everything, every journal, the ones with the shaky handwriting from age 12 when my father walked out and never looked back, the ones that detailed every night I made myself throw up after dinner, the ones where I admitted I sometimes wished I didn't wake up. She held those pages like they were the Bible, tears streaming down her perfect cheeks, whispering, "Your pain is so beautiful, Serena. One day the world needs to read this and heal because of you." I thought she was proud of me. I didn't realize she was mining, but there were signs. Tiny paper cuts I kissed and called love, like how she'd retell my funniest childhood stories at parties and the whole room would howl while I stood there smiling like a backup singer, or how she borrowed my entire PowerPoint presentation for a huge client and got the promotion I had worked 80-hour weeks for, then hugged me and said, "We're a team, right?" Every time that sick twist happened in my gut, I told myself I was being dramatic. When she started texting my ex just to make sure he's okay after everything, I swallowed the jealousy. When she copied my entire Instagram aesthetic, same filters, same captions, same vulnerable quotes, I called it inspiration. When she wore the exact dress I had saved up for 6 months to buy the day before my birthday, I told myself it was coincidence. I was so terrified of losing the only family I had chosen that I let her redraw every boundary until there were none left. Then, 5 years ago, the stars finally aligned for me. This channel started blowing up overnight. Brands were in my inbox. My subscriber count was climbing faster than I could refresh. And then came the phone call that made me fall to my knees in the middle of Target. My agent, screaming, "Serena, you got the book deal. Major publisher, 6 figures. They want your raw essays on betrayal, mental health, rising from rock bottom, everything you've lived." I was shaking so hard I dropped my phone in the cereal aisle. The first person I called was Alina. "Babe, I got it. The book deal is mine." Dead silence. Then a tiny cold. "That's amazing. I gotta go." Click. That same night I opened Instagram for a dopamine hit and the entire world went black. The publisher had posted a cover reveal. Author Alina, title, "Shattered and Risen." The pull quote underneath. My exact words from the journal entry about finding my father's goodbye letter taped to the bathroom mirror when I was 12. Word for word. She had changed names, flipped a few details, added some fake therapy scenes, and sold my trauma as her heroic journey. The comments were flooding with "So brave. Can't wait to read your story." While I sat on my kitchen floor, hyperventilating because my story now had her name on it. My advance vanished. My book dead. My soul on pre-order for $27.99. I drove to her apartment through a thunderstorm that felt like the sky was grieving with me. Mascara rivers, screaming at the top of my lungs in the car until my voice gave out. When she opened the door in her perfect silk pajamas, I couldn't even form sentences. "How? Why?" I finally choked. She didn't flinch. She looked me straight in the eyes and said the sentence that still wakes me up at night. "Serena, you always land on your feet. You'll get another deal. I've been drowning for years. I needed this win more than you did. 15 years of sleepovers, secrets, promises, and I've got you forever reduced to 6 words. I needed it more. I lost it." I screamed until veins popped in my neck. I threw the takeout container I was still clutching from dinner at her wall. She cried the prettiest tears you've ever seen. Tears that didn't dare ruin her eyeliner, while I looked like a horror movie. I left that night and never went back. Blocked her on everything. Changed my number. Erased 15 years in one hurricane of pain. The next 12 months were the darkest tunnel I've ever crawled through. I stopped eating solid food for weeks. Lost 20 pounds. Stopped posting videos. Almost deleted this entire channel. Couldn't look another human in the eye without wondering, "Are you next?" Panic attacks at 3 a.m. that felt like heart attacks. Therapy 3 times a week. Antidepressants that made me a zombie. My mother flying in because she was scared I wouldn't make it to Christmas. I bought Elena's book the day it released. Couldn't stop myself. Read it in one sitting, and vomited in the bookstore bathroom because every single page was my blood wearing her perfume. I hated her with a fire that burned my insides. Then, I hated myself more for ever loving her. I replayed every memory looking for the lie, every hug looking for the moment she decided I was raw material. I became terrified of vulnerability. I stopped journaling, stopped trusting, stopped believing forever was real. But here's the secret nobody tells you about rock bottom. It has a hidden trap door, and one day it swings open upward into light. I was on my therapist's couch, covered in snot and shame, when I heard my own voice say, "She didn't steal your story, Serena. She stole the rough draft. Go write the final version, the one only you can tell." And for the first time in a year, I breathed. I wrote the real book. Uglier, messier, no pretty metaphors to hide behind. I named the pain, instead of dressing it up. When every traditional publisher turned me down because of the similarity issue, I published it myself. It hit bestseller lists anyway. This channel didn't just recover, it tripled, quadrupled, because people tasted the truth and they were starving for it. I turned my massacre into medicine, and strangers all over the world started healing because I refused to die quietly. These are the lessons betrayal carved into my bones with a dull knife, so I would never forget. Your intuition is the voice of God in a whisper. Never, ever shush it again. Some people don't want your friendship. They want your front row seat to your pain so they can sell the footage. Boundaries are not mean. They are the moat around your castle. Build them high and guard them fiercely. Envy wearing the mask of love is the deadliest poison there is. Forgiveness is not reconciliation. Forgiveness is you stopping the bleeding so you can live. The right people will sit outside your walls as long as it takes. They will never try to pick the lock or climb over. Your scars are not ugly. They are the map that leads other lost souls home. Today I sit here with gold-filled cracks that catch the light. I still flinch sometimes when someone says best friend. I still check exit routes in every room. But I also have new sisters now who celebrate my wins louder than I do, who send screenshots of my book in bookstores with crying emojis, who remind me daily that real love doesn't keep score. And Elena, last I heard she's on to her third ghostwriter and her fourth reinvention. But that's no longer my circus, not my monkeys. So if you're watching this at 3 a.m. with swollen eyes and a broken heart, because someone you loved sold your soul for clout, listen to me. You are not naive, you are not weak, you are mid-metamorphosis. Protect your heart like it's the rarest diamond ever mined, but do not bury it 6 feet under. The people worthy of you will wait patiently outside the gate. They will water every wilted part of you until you bloom again, brighter and more dangerous than before. One day you will look back and realize the knife they left in your back became the rungs of the ladder you climbed to your throne. I love you more than words can carry. If this story cracked your chest open, even a little, smash that like button so hard the algorithm feels it. Share this with someone who needs permission to stop blaming themselves, and pour your own story in the comments. I read every single one, and I cry with you. I heal with you. Subscribe because we are building an unbreakable army of soft-hearted warriors who choose kindness and boundaries, love and power. Until next time, stay tender, stay ferocious, stay shining so bright the darkness can never touch you again. This is Ms. Serena signing off with every piece of my mended heart. I love you.